What is up, ATG traders? This is Munya, and welcome back again to my trading channel. Today, we're going to take a look at step index. It's been a while since I posted a step index strategy because I was really looking for a good strategy for step index. Remember, it's very much different from our volatility indices and from our boom and crash trading. So step index is its own way of moving, but today we finally have a strategy that you can apply on a step index and maximize on your profits. So after this video, I'll be expecting you guys to flood my DM with results from this step index strategy, because from what I've been saying when I was working on it, you guys are up for something. So let's take a look at what this strategy looks like and how to apply this strategy. We're going to talk about the settings for this strategy. We're going to talk about the time frame that you can use this strategy on, and we're also going to talk about the conditions that have to be met for each and every entry that you're going to be making on this step index strategy. So this is very much a step index killer strategy, and I hope you guys do follow up and watch up until the end of this video. As usual, please make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you are notified each and every time I post videos like this. I wouldn't want you to miss any of the latest updated strategies, so make sure you keep yourself posted. Okay, I've also left a link for you to join our Telegram channel, where I post signals, where I post some of the results that I'm getting from my students that I'm teaching. If you also want to be part of the mentorship program, that will be your chance. Also, I post results from our VIP signals group, where I post signals again. So it's completely free to join. Just click the link in the description box below, and then it will take you straight to that Telegram channel. Okay, I've also posted a video on my second channel where we do live trading sessions and in-depth analysis. Also, be sure to check that one out as well, so that you don't miss out on any of the great content that I produce. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the indicators that you see right now, and we'll do the step-by-step process of installing them, because remember, we have new people right here on this channel that might not be aware of how to go about everything. Right, so the first indicator that we want to install is the Bollinger Bands. So I'm going to go to indicators, then we're going to look for the Bollinger Bands, and you normally find the Bollinger Bands in the trend section because it's a trend indicator. So this should also give you a heads up that we'll be trading in line with the trend. Okay, so these Bollinger Bands are going to have the following properties. We're going to have a period of 20, a shift of 0, deviations of 2 or 2.0, apply to close, and then the colors for these Bollinger Bands, I chose the color blue because it's quite bright and visible on my white background. You can choose any color that is going to be visible depending on the background color that you have, and then I'm going to click on done. So as you can see, we now have those Bollinger Bands running across our charts. This is what we call the upper band. The one that you see on top of all the other bands is called the upper band. The one which is in between is called the middle band, and then the one that's beneath all of them is called the lower band. So I'm going to be referring to these bands as we go on. Please make sure you are following the correct settings. You can take screenshots, you can pause the video, you can write it down so that you don't miss any of the stuff that I'm saying right now. The next indicator that we want to install is the relative strength index. So I'm going to go to indicators, then look for the relative strength index, or the RSI, as you guys might know it. And this RSI is going to have the following properties. We're going to have a period of 14, apply to close, and then the levels, we're going to have level 90, level 50, and level 10. So level 90 will be labeled as OB stroke sell. OB stands for overbought, and is also going to be our sell region. And then we're going to have level 50 labeled as waiting period, or take profit. TP stands for take profit. And then our level 10 will be labeled as OS, which means oversold, stroke buy section. right? And then we're going to go back again to our RSI. I want to clarify on the styling. Please make sure you choose the color of your background for the style, because we don't want the line for the RSI to actually appear on our charts. We only want to have the levels represented, right? So I chose the color white on my style. Please do the same if possible. And then we're going to click on save and then done. So it should appear like this at first, whereby you only be able to see a level 90, level 50, and level 10 on your charts, and nothing else within the RSI, right? I hope you understood that part, that you should not have any other line within the RSI. The last but not least indicator that we want to install, we want it to fall under our indicator window 1, and it is going to be a moving average. And the properties of that moving average are going to be as follows. We're going to have a period of 5, we're going to have a shift of 0, we're going to have a method of exponential, and then we're going to apply to close. And then the color for this moving average can be any color of your choice. I chose black. Please make sure you don't choose the same color as your background, because you won't be able to see what you would have added, right? So now you're going to click on done, and as you can see, we now have that black line running across our charts, and this is how the complete strategy looks like. This is the complete strategy that we're going to be using to place some trades, right? Now, I know I post almost every day here on this channel a new strategy, but that does not mean that the previous strategies no longer work. As long as they're still on this channel, it means they still work. The ones that don't work, we remove them on the channel. So if they are still on the channel, it means they work. It's just that we have so many different ways of killing a cat, and we have so many different ways of trading. So please take that in mind and watch the previous videos so that you find a strategy that suits your trading style. I know that we don't really have much strategies on step index, so this might be one of a kind, and this is basically, I think, the only one I think that you can, so you won't have something to compare with. But as time goes on, we'll probably be uploading more and more strategies, and you can start to compare them and see which ones are comfortable with you. I know even if you decide to have a debate on which one is the best, we will obviously get different answers, and we won't have the same answer. So please have that in mind, that there are other strategies still work, and you can still watch them, and you can still make money with them. I actually advise you to even watch the previous strategies, because those ones I've seen results from other traders that are posting and sharing with me, right? So let's take a look at the strategy. It's very simple. You're going to be buying at extremes, and also you're going to be selling at extremes. And the extremes that I'm talking about is, first of all, let me clarify on the zoom level. We're going to be using the third or the second smallest zoom level, depending on your screen size. I would prefer that you use the second from last. So you just move to the last zoom level like this, and then you move one step up and then another step up. That's the zoom level that you're going to be using, right? And then the time frame, I prefer to use this from the 15-minute time frame. We're going to talk about take profit levels and all that a little bit later, but right now let's talk about the entry points. I'll start off with the trade that I'm actually looking at, which is showing me a sell setup, and this is how the sell setup happens. Number one, the first condition that needs to be met is the candlesticks have to cross or have to touch the upper band like that, like what they did right there. I hope it's visible. Well, like what they did right there, right? Our candlesticks touched our upper band. This is the first sign of reaching a resistance level. So remember I said this is the upper band, this is the middle band, and this is the lower band. So touching, if candlesticks touch the upper band, it means they've reached a resistance level, right? Now, the second thing that needs to happen for you to then enter a trade is this black line is to reach or touch level 90, which is our overbought section, which also implies that we are now selling, right? So can you see that candlesticks touched our upper band, but our black line, here's where our candlestick touched our upper band, but can you see where our black line was still at? It was not yet at level 90. You had to wait up until it reaches level 90, and then that's where you get your sell. And can you see immediately at this section that I've just highlighted, that's when you're supposed to enter your sell, and that's when actually you can see that the market started to drive all the way down, right? The same situation is true, but the opposite. When you want to be in a buy trade, you're going to wait for the candlesticks to touch the lower band this time. Then you also have to wait for your black line to touch the oversold section, which is also our buy section, and then you can see that's when you can enter a buy trade. Can you see how simple but powerful the strategy is? Same thing happens here. Can go on and on and on explaining the same thing, but right now I just want us to jump into when do you take profit. The take profit level is clearly set on your screen. We said there is a waiting period /TP. The TP stands for take profit, which means you're going to take profit when this black line comes from this level 90 to our level 50, like that, or comes from our level 10 to our level 50, like that. So you're pretty much going to be in a trade for long. Could have even used this one and not wait for the retracement, and that's how this strategy is going to work with your step index. If you want to learn more about forex trading one-on-one with me, or get VIP signals, please make sure you contact me. You'll only get my number from the Telegram channel with the link in the description box below. Be sure to check out our second channel for in-depth analysis and live trading sessions. Until next time.